Tackle Junkies, what's going on everyone? Really appreciate you guys and gals for clicking on the video. In today's video, we're going to install a brand new set of steps from BoatEFX. These are the max steps. I do believe the main differences between these steps and the ones that I was running before, obviously you have a bit bigger step here, but there's just more adjustability in this set of steps versus the ones that I was running before. You know, these are built for your boat, but just in case you get a different boat, more adjustability just allows them to fit other boats and you can get them exactly where you want them. If you guys want to pick up a set of steps from BoatEFX or anything else on the website, you guys can go through my link. You no longer need a discount code. You just go through my link and 10% off will be applied at checkout. I'll link them down below in every video, you know, moving forward. I'll even pin a comment for you guys as well. Again, just click the link, pick out your stuff, and the discount will be applied at checkout, which is 10% off, okay? Let's get them installed. Okay, so the first step here, we have to install the winch post standoff. So we have this piece here, we have the backer plate, and you're using the hardware from bag SS1. If you got a buddy to help you out, I got my wife here to give me a hand. I'm sure it's going to make it a lot easier. Some of these parts are kind of heavy, so we'll let her put the backer plate on and the nuts on the other side. Just going to start with the okay, like I was saying on my last set, you guys might be able to see, you let hang. There's a little like angle support here on my winch post. I'm just gonna let those, the bolts kind of rest there. That way it really can't slide down. I think if you try to keep it above that, just, you know, your weight getting off and on the steps, it's probably gonna slide down on its own. So I'm just gonna let it rest there right on that angle. You need a 5/8 wrench and socket to tighten those up. All right, next up, you have to install the slide tube using Bag of Hardware SS2, and you also have a couple of these trim rings that you need to add, okay? The deal with this tube though, there is a 10-degree angle on it, but the angle needs to go either to the bow or the stern, okay, not top or bottom. So if I'm holding it, if you guys can see it like this, okay? If this was level, the angle's down or the angle's up. Do not install it that way. It needs to be installed like this. So the angle is towards the stern or towards the bow of the boat, towards your vehicle. Okay, so back of the boat or towards your vehicle. And with that degree, it just allows you to have more clearance by your vehicle or maybe by your spare tire. I'm going to put the degree, the angle, towards the stern, towards the back of the boat, like this here, and hopefully it doesn't interfere with my tire just because I'm more worried about my truck. If I have to, I'll slide the tire down a bit. So we're going to start with the 10-degree angle, like I said, towards the stern, towards the back of the boat. So our 6 bolts are in, they're not tight yet. It also says you need to rotate your slide tube to level. It's level now, but I'm sure as I tighten these up, it's going to get off. So I'm gonna snug these down, then make sure it's level before I'm all done. And these here, you need a 9/16 wrench and socket. So as I'm tightening up the nuts, obviously the slide tube here is moving. It's hard to kind of grab it and get it level again. So I just put a little clamp on here. Now my wife can just twist the clamp and make sure that's level as I'm tightening these up. Okay, you got that?
We'll see.
So we're good right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're all tied here and we're level. All right, step 3 is the pivot assembly, and this is really where your adjustments come in at. Okay, so this piece here will sit on the slide tube, and it looks like it can pivot, okay, either way to get your angle, and then of course it can slide along the slide tube. So again, multiple adjustments here with this pivot assembly here. So let's go ahead and set this on the slide tube. Then you have two of these clamps with a nub on them, if you guys can see that. And the nub, let's see here, they are in line with the tube. Okay, one there and one here. And then you get looks like a couple little backer plates, one for either side, and you're using, let's see here, the SS3 hardware bag. So the pivot assembly is loosely tightened. We can still move it along the slide tube. Next up is to install the step and riser assembly. So basically, we got these 4 holes here. We got a couple more backer plates and 4 more bolts using the hardware bag SS4. So I'll hold the steps up here so you can run the bolts through that little backer plate there. So right now everything is loosely tightened. I can slide the pivot assembly along the slide tube, and I can also raise and lower these steps. So I'm going to figure out really what angle and height I want, then we'll get it in place and tighten it down. So I've made a few adjustments, okay? Earlier in the video I had the slide tube towards the stern of the boat, the back of the boat. You can see here I now have it towards the bow, towards the front of the boat. You can see the angle there, okay? When I had it towards the stern, I had to have the steps so far out to try to get this angle. So by moving the slide tube towards the bow, towards the front of the boat, that gave me more clearance, okay? So you can see here, these brackets right here, you can loosen these up, all right? That's what allows you to move the steps up and down. I only have one of them locked down right now, but I do believe this is the height I'm going to go with. But you can loosen those up and raise or lower the steps. I just figured at this height, normally I never use, if you guys remember my last set of steps, I normally never use the bottom step. I come off the boom step to the second step, to the top step, to the boat. I didn't want to raise these up too high and have them kind of even with the boat. I figured I might trip. So I wanted enough step here, you know, enough height, enough distance here to come from the top step to the boat. So I do believe this is a good height right here. But you can see here with the pivot on here, you can get these really at any angle that you want, okay? I don't want them way out here. You know, I don't want to have to worry about maybe, you know, hitting my, my truck with the steps. I kind of want them on the same angle as the boat. Again, just because I come off of the boom step, right up here to the boat. So I like the angle, again, with or in line with the boat. So I think we're going to go right about here. So like I said, my height is pretty much set. I'm going to tighten these down, tighten down the pivot, and that's basically where those steps are going to be. But again, you can go ahead and slide this too along the slide tube here. If you want them further away from the boat, you can go ahead and slide these out, okay, like so. Or if you want them closer to the boat, you slide them in. But you can see there's just a lot of adjustments within these new max steps to get these steps exactly where you want them. I think we're going to run with right here, tighten them down, and we'll move on to the next step. All right, next up is the handrail assembly. I'm just going with the top handrail, but you can get a full-blown handrail from top to bottom if you'd like. Again, we're just going with the top here. So you got this part here, you have the little backer plate, and you're going to use the SS5A hardware bag. So you'll have 2 bolts along the back side of the steps, one in the front. And I'm assuming this can be adjustable as well. I have it all the way to the top underneath the step there. I'd imagine you could slide it down if you need it shorter, but we have it all the way up top here. Okay. All right, last step here is for the top of the handrail. It's got an angle on it. Just like my last set, I'm going to go with the angle here towards the boat. Okay, 4 bolts. All right, guys. I'm trying to stay out of the shadows. The sun is in a bad spot right now. I'm just trying to wrap this up. Everything's in place, the handle's on, everything's bolted down exactly where I want it. One thing to keep in mind though, like I said, originally I wanted this slide tube here angled towards the stern, and I did flip it around to get the angle that I was looking for. But again, the steps are out a bit further now. So for your first time out, you need to be really aware when you're making turns. I'm heading to the lake tomorrow. I may even take one of my boys with me just to make sure that I got plenty of clearance when I'm making tight turns. I may even actually take it out tonight, just go down the road with it so I know for sure. But the last thing you want to do is get your brand new steps on and then make a sharp turn and wreck your truck and your steps. So just be aware of that. Like I said, I do believe these are sticking out just a bit more than my last set. But again, if I have to readjust them, I will, but now you guys see how to install them. Very easy. All right, the last step here is just to put the foam on. Pretty sticky. Basically got one shot to get this where you want it. It's pretty straight to me. Sweet. One thing I'm going to mention too, I know the sun's super bright. You guys may notice I got charcoal blue here and charcoal blue here. They're different colors. I know that they did switch the foam, so your new foam may not match your old foam. I do have new foam that I'm going to put on so it all matches, but just something I wanted to throw out there. It may not match. Anyways, man, they look killer. Can't wait to get to the lake tomorrow and try them out. Well guys, that ought to wrap it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Pretty straightforward install. You know, loving the new BoatEFX Max steps here with all the adjustability. I got these steps right where I wanted them. If you guys want to check them out, again, they'll be linked down below. Go through that link to receive 10% off. You'll see that discount at checkout. Anyways, guys, if you liked the video, be sure to smash the thumbs up. Love you guys, and we will see you guys on the next one.